Nothing in the world that I like better. Bacon and milk, homegrown to me. Up in the morning, out in the garden, pick your right one, don't pick a hard one. Plant in spring, you can eat them in the summer. The winter without them is a culinary bummer. I forget all about sweating and digging every time I go out. Pick me a bacon, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. You can go out and get them, that's for sure. There ain't nothing that a homegrown tomato won't cure. Put it in a salad, put it in a stew, make your very own tomato juice. You can eat them with eggs, you can eat them with gravy, eat them with beans and tortillas. Put them on the side, put them in the middle. Have a homegrown tomato on a hot cake grill. Homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. 'If I was to change this life I'd be Johnny Tomato Seed. And I know just what this country needs, a homegrown tomato in every yard you see. When I die, don't you bury me in a box in a cemetery out in the garden. That'd be much better, where I could be pushing up homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes. Yeah, homegrown tomatoes, homegrown tomatoes. What would life be without homegrown tomatoes? There's only two things that money can't buy, and that's true love and homegrown tomatoes.
Thank you to Roy Martin Broadbooks for filling in for Dave and Tamara. We also have Ellen, who so graciously came up just from this morning and said, yes, I'd love to sing with you. So we'd love to hear Ellen as well. Okay, I want to thank Mariah in the back. Yep, so she is filling in for Jeff, who is also out, so we have a lot going on here, so bear with us if we have to get our bearings here. Thank you so much, Mariah, for coming. Yes, and our pianist this morning, Marilyn Martin, thank you so much for, yes, beautiful music, beautiful. So, let's just all take a breath together here as we enter our service. And we enter our service each week by speaking our vision statement together. So here we go. This center offers a path for awakening to the realization of oneness. Open hearts, inspired life, empowered love. Our spiritual community welcomes all people to embrace oneness as the truth of our being. Together, we see a world of love, peace, and abundance for all.
I will make a quiet place, within my mind, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my heart, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still, my soul, be still. Be still and know. I will make a quiet place, a quiet place within my life, and I will listen, Holy Spirit. I will listen. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place. I will make a quiet place.
And in this quiet place, let us bring our consciousness, our attention inward to this very moment, to this very place, this place where we reside as the expression of spirit. As we recognize that the spirit is all there is. It is the Alpha and the Omega. It is our Creator. It is the Creator of all things. It is the place of unlimited potentiality. All that is, all that ever was, and all yet to be is contained in this very moment. It is the unifying aspect of the universe. And as that unification of the one power and presence, I know that we each are unified and a part of the Spirit, that the Spirit moves in and through and as each one of us, that we are co-creators of our life and of our world. For we are each a unique, individualized expression of that magnificent Spirit. And right now, and right here, I declare that we are on purpose from the Spirit, that we each are a gift to each other, as this life of Spirit is our gift from Spirit. So I know that for each of us, that Spirit is celebrating itself as life, as each one of us. And as we allow ourselves to be in this perfect present moment, we are embedded with a new idea of being, with a new idea of life, and a new way of expressing that love that is happening through us. And I see and claim and accept that love, that joy, harmony, and peace that is our birthright. As this sense of peace and ease and comfort flows through us, and we trust in that spirit of life, I accept and affirm for each of us that we connect with the newness of each moment, that we overflow with that love, with that feeling of goodwill, with that knowingness of love and compassion for all. For we see, as Spirit sees, only perfection, and this moment is filled with good intentions and the magnificence of its expression. And I bless the request in the prayer chest and the desires of your heart, for I know they are expressions of the divine coming into fruition with love, peace, ease, and comfort, that each request is energized from within, that inner wisdom is guiding and directing all aspects of this ongoing and marvelous conclusion. I accept for each prayer request that manifestation of health, joy, compassion, aliveness with the vitality of life. And these gifts of Spirit are manifesting right now in this present moment, and I give thanks. And I know the service is blessed, and the volunteers are blessed, the staff, the music, everyone who comes in service to make this a grand occasion for each and every one of us, knowing that this is an expression of divine love happening right here. And we are each uplifted and enfolded in this love of Spirit. So I'm grateful for these daily blessings, the ones that are seen and unseen, for the awesomeness of this truth, the magnificence of each life, as I know this prayer is already fulfilled as we join together and declare, and so it is.
Get ready, my soul. I'm dying. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer, closer to my sacred source. Get ready, my soul.
Good morning. I'd like to call your attention to the prayer chest at the bottom of the stairs to the left. If you have a concern, something on your mind, you just want a little extra help knowing the truth for yourself this week, please put your request in the prayer chest, and the practitioner will be doing affirmative prayer this week. From Ralph Waldo Emerson: one of the illusions of life is that the present moment is not the critical, decisive hour. Write it on your heart that every day is the best day of your year. Living in the present moment creates the experience of eternity. Deepak Chopra. And from Albert Einstein: the best preparation for the future is to live as if it were none. I'll read that again. The best preparation for the future is to live as if there were none.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so here we are in the month of July. Our spiritual focus is the present moment. And I have another video for you today. And this video is, he's a guest speaker at CSL Seattle. And I think that we've seen him before. He's a rabbi, Rabbi Olivier Ben-Ham. So I hope you enjoy this.
I want to talk about freedom. I want to talk about true freedom this morning. And I'm going to start kind of in a tangent and reel you back in, hopefully. I'm sure you have all seen that bumper sticker on cars that reads, "If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention." Yeah, I see some people nodding in the space. Maybe actually some of you have that bumper sticker on your car. Maybe somebody watching online may think, yeah, I have that bumper sticker. So you're not going to like what I'm about to say. I'm sorry. Every time I see that bumper sticker on the back of a car, "If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention," I said to myself, how wrong this message really is. How terrible this message really is for all of us. I mean, if you are outraged, feel into the invitation of that word. If you are outraged, it's already putting me in a state of anger just by reading it, right? If you are outraged, it means that you are consumed by rage. Now I'm asking all of us, is that the place you want to live from? Is that truly where the center of your being is? Is outrage a natural expression of your own heart? If you're outraged, you are consumed by your emotional states. And you are fundamentally rejecting the reality you live in. If you are outraged, you are in fact not free. You are enslaved to your own emotions. And that's where you live from. Now, if you are paying attention, however, as the bumper sticker would have it, if you're truly paying attention, it means that you are actually able to step back and see the bigger picture. If you're truly mindful, truly paying attention, you are able to contemplate actually the pros and the cons, the many sides of whatever issue is presented to you, without actually letting your emotions take over, without becoming enslaved by those impulses. When you are actually truly paying attention, you are no longer collapsed into that point of view that you have to defend against the world. And that point of view that you have to defend, that sense of always being on the defensive, in fact comes to cloud your vision of reality. If you are truly mindful, if you are truly paying attention, then you are taking in the world, your life, the moment, just as it is. Not as you wish it to be, not as your mind would conjure it to be, would prefer it to be, but just as it is. And if you act from that place, because true freedom is never to be found in the outer world. True freedom will never happen from the outside. In fact, if we're looking for freedom on the outside, all that we are going to get is more polarities, more animosity, more conflict. Why? Because of the famous sentence, I know everybody has read it somewhere at some point, that my freedom ends when yours begin. And so true freedom isn't an absolute for me against you. It is in fact a collaboration between us so that each of us can compromise from that absolute and engage in a relative acceptance of each other's freedoms. But you hear what I'm saying, that all external freedoms are only able to be relative. And the problem we are faced with in our world and in our society today is that we are pit against each other in trying to achieve our own absolute freedom. And if we are going to the absolute side of freedom, then all we're going to have is the rejections of all those who don't want my freedom to be respected. Hence, the society we live in today. Hence, our inability to find common ground, to find a shared sense of relative freedom. So acting from that place of mindfulness that I was just speaking about is the place that can help us build toward the future. Acting from outrage can only further polarize us, and actually, instead of building our future, is, as we see, destroying our future. I guess what I'm saying is that paying attention, and I love that expression actually in Hebrew, paying attention, it's one of the most beautiful expressions. In Hebrew, paying attention is lasim lev, and it literally means to place your heart, to put your heart into something. Lev in Hebrew is heart. Lasim is to place the heart. And so paying attention is an act of putting your heart in the moment, living from that heart space instead of the mind space. It's a beautiful expression that really truly conveys how we are to live moment to moment from the heart. So paying attention, putting your heart into each moment, means that we are training ourselves to be just with what is in the moment. And that may be the key, in fact, to unlock a different way of being in the world, from a place that is more grounded, more centered. I mean, you can feel it in your heart right now. You can feel it in your body when I speak these words. That sense of groundedness, that opening to empathy. And when we act from that place, we free ourselves from the enslavement to our desires, our emotions, our points of views that we have turned into worshipped idols. I was talking this morning about the 10 plagues of Egypt. Everybody knows the story of the Exodus, especially Charlton Heston as Moses and the movie The 10 Commandments. And since you can only really watch the first hour and a half, 2 hours, most of us know about the 10 plagues. It's such a long movie. There is a beautiful teaching from our rabbis that talks about the 10 plagues actually not being meant to dismantle Egypt as it was in order for the Israelites to be able to live into freedom. Because the story, again, doesn't happen on the outside. The story is about you and it's about me. Each of us is in Egypt. And Egypt is not a place somewhere. Egypt is within us. All of us are, in fact, like I just mentioned, enslaved to our minds, our desires, our emotions. We're really collapsed into those. They rule our lives. They rule our lives. And so the 10 plagues came to actually, and you can see in the way they're lined up, to destroy, to attack, and dismantle the gods of Egypt. The Nile, for example, was one of the gods of Egypt. And the first of the 10 plagues is blood in the Nile. The Nile is turned into blood, right? It's dismantling of one of the gods of Egypt. I'm not going to go through each of the plagues, but the 9th one is darkness. And the god of Egypt that is connected to darkness is Ra, the sun god. The The last plague is the killing of the firstborn, and it's connecting to Pharaoh's son, because pharaohs as well were seen as gods. So what does it say? Because if it's not about something on the outside, what does it say about me, about my own inner process toward leaving Egypt and moving into spaces of freedom? It says that each of us has created gods within our consciousness, idols that we are worshiping, about how things should be, how things ought to be. Our points of views have solidified, and so much solidified that we are unable to hear anybody else's point of view. We have made our thoughts into idols and into gods. And the divine is coming in and is trying, in order to free us, to dismantle all of those things we're so certain about. All the pictures we have painted, all the shoulds and oughts that we have surrounded our lives with. We are in Egypt. You and me, we're all in Egypt. We're all enslaved to those parts of selves. And in order to free ourselves from those places, the best way to free yourself from a prison is to know the map of the prison really well. If we are to free ourselves from this vicious, enslaving cycle of action-reaction, and move, instead of reaction, into a place of responding, right? From reacting to responding, do you feel the difference there? There's freedom in responding that doesn't exist in reacting. Reacting, we are acted upon. Responding, we have this spaciousness, this freedom that we have created that allows us to act from a different place, from the heart space. So if we are to free ourselves from this enslaving cycle of action-reaction, if freedom is really what we want, that's a big question we have to ask ourselves. Then we need the map of the prison. Now, I'm not a psychologist, and even I think if I was one, I would say that nobody can ever pretend to have mapped out the human psyche. So in very broad, simplistic, and rudimentary brush strokes, I would like to offer a basic exploration of all of our prisons. So let's imagine something happens. Anything, something happens. It could be anything. It could be what's happening right now in this moment. You having to, unfortunately, listen to me, for example. I mean, it's happening. Now, this moment, your experience in this moment is arising in your awareness. It is right here. You can appreciate it as it is coming into your own awareness. And as it is showing up in awareness, the mind steps in, and the mind cognizes this moment, recognizes this moment. Something has happened, the mind realizes. And so as something has happened, the mind steps in and starts to analyze the moment. And as it analyzes it, it compares it as well to another moment. The mind is always looking for something it already knows, that is familiar, that is shared, that is common. It's like a little place of home wherever you go. Familiarity. Because the mind immediately, at whatever moment, whatever experience is happening, the mind immediately goes, oh, is this good or is this bad? Do I like this? Or do I not like this? Do I dislike this? Do I like this? I mean, this talk that this rabbi is giving right now, do I like this? Do I not like this? Is it good? Is it bad? Is it better than the last time he was here and talked? Or is it not as good as last time he was here and talked? Don't know. I have to watch back on YouTube. So if the mind's evaluation comes back positive, the mind judges it and says, oh, that's good. That's good, that's good. And then what happens within each of us is like there's a craving. There's a craving that grows within you that comes and is imprinted in our psyche. Oh, I want more of that. That rabbi should really come back. Like, his talks, I really like it. Let's make sure that he's invited back to CSL. I want more of this. Yeah, I want more. This is good. I like it. That's what Facebook did. The most incredible thing that Facebook created in their platform is that little icon that says like or dislike. And that's how we got hooked. Because now somebody posts something and you can be empowered to say to the world, I like this. Or it's like, I don't like this. Right? And so you feel empowered, you feel you're part of it, you feel you're connected, but what Facebook is doing is collecting data about you, about all your likes and dislikes, so it can feed you more of that and gets you hooked. But you on your own side is like, oh, I like it, click, feels good. Or no, I don't like it. Oh, that feels even better. Sometimes the darkness is more juicy than the other side of it. Anyways, the rabbis keeps on talking, and I don't know anymore if I like it. It's getting in a different place right now, but let's imagine that so far I'm liking it. What I want is I want to control that. I want that to last. I mean, it's too sad. There's only 7 more minutes. I wish you could talk for another hour. That would be great. And there's a part of you that's like, no, I would not like that. So your mind just switched already over there to the other side. But, I'm going to try to control this experience as much as I can, to make it last as long as I can. That ice cream, I really want it to last as long as I can, to control my experience, to keep this craving going. So the first thing I'm going to do to control life and my experience, I'm going to call Monday morning the office at CSL and demand that this rabbi come back to talk more, because I want more. I want more. Now, if the evaluation comes back negative and the mind starts to say, no, that's bad, then an aversion is created within our psyche. And the mind goes, I want less. I want less of that. That ice cream just didn't taste good. I don't want it anymore. I don't want that relationship anymore. I want less. I want less of this. I want less. So I'm going to try, as I did before, I'm going to try to control my reality to make sure that less of that is happening. So I'm going to call CSL Monday morning. Anyway, everybody's calling on Monday morning. You guys are going to have, it's going to ring off the hook. And I'm going to demand that this rabbi is never invited again. Because that was bad. That was really, really bad. And I want less of that. I want to control that. I want to control my experience at Center for Spiritual Living, so I'm going to impose my dislike on everybody else. Do you notice what happens actually either way? What happens either way is our need, our yearning to control. We want to control when it's good, we want to control when it's bad. The problem is that either way, we're miserable. Right? I mean, we're miserable when we don't like something, that's obvious. But we're also miserable, ultimately, when we want to control the good things in our lives. Why? Gamze ya'avor, we say in Hebrew, this too shall pass. Everything that begins as an end. So however long you want to try to really milk that ice cream, ultimately it'll come to an end. And you'll be disappointed. And because you're going to be so disappointed because you're so good, you're going to make yourself miserable. Oh no, I'm miserable now. I wanted more of the rabbi. When is he coming back? Right? So either positive or negative, ultimately you suffer. Ultimately there is suffering. And that is true to all of us. That is universal. Universal. And in this process, our conditioning is impacted either way. And it then taints the way we meet our next experience. Because of this experience, this moment will impact a future moment in your life because of how you lived through it right now. And all of this that I just talked about takes place almost immediately mostly unconsciously in any single life event in your life. You had the green light, you wanted a red light. You wanted a red light, you wanted the green light. It's happening all the time. In fact, if you look back at all the decisions you've made in your life, I would venture to say that 99.9% of any single decision you've made in your life comes from either like or dislike. Want more, want less. Craving, aversions. I mean, look back. The clothes you're wearing right now, craving or aversion? Probably craving. Like, dislike. We think of ourselves as, thinkers and feelers, but we're really moved by powers that we fail to completely understand. Those who manipulate us understand the psychology of humanity very well. We've built an entire economy on that emotional response of like and dislike. If you watch commercials on TV, you know that what they're selling you is not the product. They're selling you a feeling. Because every toothpaste is exactly almost as every other toothpaste. But they're selling you an image of you being having such a great life, looking beautiful, and that can only happen if you buy my toothpaste. And it's true with everything. So, what I'm trying to say in kind of funny but not funny way is that we are never really with what is, and therefore we're never really free. We're always at the mercy of that little voice inside that likes or dislikes. And the reason why, paradoxically, is that all of us want to be happy and avoid being miserable. And that is that impulse of wanting to be happy and avoiding being miserable that actually makes us, in fact, more miserable. So this is where we live. We live in the mind's interpretation of reality. This is where you and I live, in the mind's interpretation of reality. We live caught in that dichotomy of craving and aversion, likes and dislikes. And so we're never with what is. We're never with reality itself. We're never free. Now, practicing being with what is helps us break the cycle, and I'm going to offer you a practice. I'm going to offer you a 3-step practice that will hopefully help us break free from the little voice in our heads. And that practice will take time and dedication, but if you really want to be free, I would invite you to do it. First, don't believe anything your thoughts say. Don't believe anything your thoughts are saying. Nothing. None of them. Something is happening, watch the story that the mind is making up. Watch the immediate evaluating, the judging, the comparing. Watch it. Look at it happening live, in the moment. And break the cycle. Stop it. Stop it right there. Just observe. Don't react. You're not that story. Don't believe what the mind is saying. Take those thoughts apart. Are they really true? Are those thoughts actually really true? Are they absolutely true? Are they expressing actually a craving, or are they expressing an aversion? Can I be free from that? What is the conditioning that they are tapping into to urge me to act or react a certain kind of way? Inquire, ask yourself, and don't believe anything you think. Step 2, practice what in Jewish meditation practice we call hishtavut, which means equanimity. Practice equanimity. Do not react to the emotions. Do not react to the sensations, the desires that are arising in the moment. Let them come and let them go, because they come and they go. They don't stay. They are not fixed. Just be with what is. From that place of pure equanimity. Oh, here it is. Emotions are here. Sensations are here. Thoughts are here. I don't deny reality. In fact, I embrace reality. I'm just not reactive to reality. I am not my emotions. Just like I am not my thoughts, I am also not my emotions. I am not my desires. I can observe my desires, but I am not collapsed. I'm not enslaved to them. Third step, practice love and compassion. It might sound very trite, but it's true. This human condition is universal. All of us act and react in those kinds of ways. We're all collapsed in our own conditioned minds. We're all enslaved. We're all seeking the pleasant and avoiding the unpleasant. We're all reacting in ways that are hurtful to ourselves and to others. All of us. So give yourself a break. Give them, those others, also a break. Even when they act in hurtful ways, you understand because you understand your own conditioning, their conditioning. And so that allows you to be compassionate toward them. They're suffering from the same enslavement you are suffering. And so be loving toward yourself and be loving towards others. And practicing these 3 steps, we come to realize how tied up in knots all of us are. How enslaved to forces we actually have no control over we are. We are not free until we begin this process of realizing how much we're not free. And if we want it enough, if freedom from this suffering is really what we want, then these simple but very difficult 3 steps that I highlighted for you can get us there. Amen. Good morning, everybody. It's an honor to be invited back here and to be in your presence.
Sunrise doesn't last all morning. Cloudburst doesn't last all day. Seems like love is up and left you with no warning. It's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must pass away. Sunset doesn't last all evening. A mind can blow those clouds away. After all this, my love is up and must be leaving. It's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must pass away. All things must pass. None of life's dreams can last. So I best be on my way to face another day. Now the darkness only lasts the nighttime. In the morning it will fade away. Daylight is good and arriving at the right time. It's not always gonna be this way. All things must pass. All things must
Right, let's all sing, huh?
God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moon glow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. 'Cause you are the very breath I breathe, and your perfect love created me. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Okay, as the ushers come forth, this is our time to consciously participate in the law of circulation as a spiritual practice. So if you'll take your means of circulation in your hands, and just know with me that from that unlimited abundance of the universe I have received, and in doing so, I release, knowing that as the hands of God, I too am a part of the circle of circulation, and I graciously and gratefully do my part. And our affirmation: God is unfailing abundance, the rich, omnipresent substance of the universe.
My digital devices are my fingers and my toes. I don't take a smartphone everywhere I go. I'm still connected, yes I am. Conversations with God, dream of the plan. My digital devices are my fingers and my toes. Practicing your presence sets me free. My virtues and my vices, I let them be. First and every time, he's in the room. I know what to do, so I get up and go. Practicing your presence sets me free. So I dream with my feet in the direction of my dreams. Sometimes it's all perfect, holding complete, till I move my feet. I changed my thinking, I changed my life. Love dissolves fear, love dissolves struggle and strife. Getting into the high vibration, doing the work with the realization. I changed my thinking, I changed my life. So I dream with my feet in the direction of my dreams. Sometimes it's all perfect, holding complete, till I move my feet. Come on, everybody, let's dream with our feet in the direction of my dreams. Sometimes it's all perfect, holding complete, till I move my feet. Let's dream with our feet. Let's dream with our feet. Let's dream with our feet in the direction of our dreams.
And these gifts move their feet in the directions of a better community, a better state, a better world. And so it is.
Thank you so much, Lou. Another thank you to Roy Martin Broadway. Original song right there of his. And thank you, Ellen, so much for joining us. And Mariah, thank you so much. You're doing great back there. Okay, so I would like to welcome anyone who is here for the first time. Welcome. It's your lucky day, because I know it's potluck and I saw a lot of food come through the doors. So we have potluck afterwards. If you have questions about the center, I can answer those. I could also use the little square if you would like to pay for anything that we take money here for on your debit or credit card. I can do that for you. I also can help you in the bookstore, which is open. Pick up your recipe forms, please, please, please. I personally want your recipes. I want to buy that book. I want your recipes. So pick those up, fill out as many as you'd like. And I do hear we have a birthday in the house. Do we have a birthday in the house? Del Wiesner, so good to see you. Happy birthday. Del and Kay have been long time members of the center. That is a long time. And we have this center, actually, this church building, a lot because of you two. So thank you so much for your support throughout the years. I love you both very much. Whew. Okay. We are ready, I think, to claim our good. So let's put it up here. And we will read these all together all the way down. Here we go. I will not worry about things I cannot control. I am exactly where I am meant to be. I am safe and secure. I am rooted in this present moment, and so it is.
I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I'm getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here. My soul is welcome here.
We have our last affirmation, and don't forget we have a workshop after potluck. If you want to do that, just come right back up here. Here we go.
I exist in this moment right now.
I think everyone is happy about that.